Today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this adorable Christmas hats for a 0 to 3 month old baby. It makes a beautiful Christmas gift. So if you have a newborn who has just come in, a grandchild, or your own baby, or a nephew or a niece, this makes a beautiful gift. It also works beautifully for Christmas photos. So for this tutorial, we'll be starting from the crown down to the ear flaps and the straps. I'll also be teaching you how to make the Christmas tree applique. So I'll be using this bright red acrylic yarn. It's a size 4 acrylic yarn, medium weight. It's called Canadiana by Patons, size 4, but it actually feels very light, like a size 3. So if you have a size 3 lightweight, you can also use it. And I'll be using this fluffy yarn called Feels Like Bliss from Lion's brand. It's nylon, 100% nylon. But if you're uncomfortable with using this fluffy yarn, you can use any size 3 or size 4 white yarn like this Patons Canadiana. And I got these from Michael's. We're running a sale, Michael's Canada, and I got it. Yeah, I'll also be using this brown Lamia Baby Boom and this green Patons yarn for the Christmas tree applique. So like I mentioned, this Lamia is a size 3 lightweight, but it feels the same as the Canadiana yarn, right? Now for the hooks, I'll be using a 3.5 crochet millimeter hook for the body of the hat, and I'll be switching to a 5 millimeter crochet hook for the straps. So let's start. Now to start, you're going to make your slip knot. Whichever method works for you, you can use that to create your slip knot. Chain 3. And slip stitch to the first chain to form a ring. If you're comfortable with using the magic circle, you can do that. Chain 2, and we are going to be working 12 double crochets into the ring. The chain 2 at the beginning does not count as a stitch. We are going to be starting every round with a chain 2. I'm at the end of round 1, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. Remember, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So I have 12 double crochets in total. Now for round 2, we are going to chain 2, and we'll be making 2 double crochets in each stitch all around. So at the end of the second round, I'm going to end it by slip stitching to the first double crochet. I have 24 double crochets in total. Chain 2 to start round 3. We are going to be making 2 double crochets in the first stitch. And 1 double crochet in the next stitch. 2 double crochets in the next stitch, one double crochet in the next stitch. So this is going to be a repeat for round 3. So continue with this pattern all to the end of round 3, and I'll meet you at the end to complete the round. So complete round 3 by working a slip stitch at the top of the first double crochet. Now we're going to be working round 4, which is our last round of increases. Chain 2 and make 1 double crochet into the first 2 stitches. And make 2 double crochets into the third stitch. And that's our increase. Next, 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Two double crochets into the next. So this is our repeat for round 4. 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 2 double crochets into the next. So we're going to repeat this pattern all around for round 4. So at the end of round 4, slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet to close the round. And we are done with the crown of the hat. Now the total width of our crown should be between 4 to 4.5 inches. So mine measures 4 inches. So if yours measures 4.5 inches, that is fine. If it's smaller than 4 inches, then you would need to use a bigger crochet hook or do another round of increase. So for round 5, you're going to chain 2 and we'll be working 1 double crochet in each stitch all around. Continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch all around till you get to the end of round 5. Okay, now make a slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet to end round 5. So now we are going to be repeating round 5 for 5 more rounds. So from round 6 to round 10. And your hat should measure a length of 4.5 inches. So complete round 5 to round 10 and I'll meet you at the end of round 10. So I'm done working 5 more rounds of double crochets and I have a total length of 4.5 inches, about 4.5, 4.75. If you have 4.75 it's fine, if you have 4.5 it's fine. Okay, so now we are going to be measuring the circumference of our hat, and we have 14 inches. So we are going for a circumference of 13 to 14 inches. So anything between that is okay. Okay, so now we are going to be working on our ear flaps. So you are going to fasten off your yarn, chain 1, and cut off your yarn. Okay, pull through your yarn. I'm going to turn our work over. Make sure that your back seam is in the center, and now turn your work to the right side. Now mark each corner of your hat with a stitch marker. If you don't have a stitch marker and you have a piece of yarn or anything to indicate the corners, please feel free to do so. I'm making sure that my back seam is well aligned to the center. So now we are going to be counting 3 stitches from each side of the stitch marker, from the front side and the back side. So we'll be doing it for each of the edges. So this side is done. I'm going to count 3 stitches from this side as well. And turn over our work. We're going to count 3 stitches from the back as well. I'm going to do this on both sides. So as our ends are marked, and I'm going to remove the middle stitch marker. So in total we have 7 stitches on each side. I'm going to add an additional stitch to make it 8 on each side. So once you've done this, you also just add an additional 1 stitch to have an even number on each side. So I have 8 stitches. I'm going to repeat that at the back as well. I originally have 7, but now I'm going to add 1 to have 8 stitches. So now that that is done, we are going to start working on our ear flaps. So we are going to be attaching our yarn at the first stitch with a stitch marker. Insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through and attach it with a knot. Remove the stitch marker. Insert your hook, chain 2, and we are going to be working 1 double crochet in each stitch till we get to the other stitch marker, and so we are going to have 8 double crochets. Chain 2, turn your work and repeat row 1. Make 1 double crochet in each stitch all along. Remember, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so our first double crochet goes into the same space as the chain 2. Row 3, chain 2, turn your work, and we are going to be making double crochet decreases. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull through. You have 3 loops, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the second space, 4 loops, pull through 2, pull through 3, and that is your double crochet decrease. And we are going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch till we get to the last 2 stitches. We're going to work a double crochet decrease in the last 2 stitches, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2, pull through 3. So we have decreases at the ends. Chain 2, turn your work. You're going to be making 1 double crochet in each stitch to the end of the row. At the end of row 4, we are going to chain 2 to start row 5, which is also a decrease row. Yarn over, make 1 double crochet decrease in the first 2 stitches. Another double crochet decrease in the next 2. And the last double crochet decrease in the last 2 stitches. So our first flap is done. Chain 1 and cut off your yarn. Pull through and your first ear flap is done. We are now going to start working on the second ear flap. We are going to repeat the same thing that we did on the first ear flap. Turn your work like this. Insert your hook and grab your yarn. Pull through. Secure it with a knot. Insert your hook and chain 2 to start. Remember, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So the same thing, we are going to be making 1 double crochet in each stitch for the first row. So we are going to repeat the same thing we did for the first ear flap on the second one. So complete the second ear flap following the same pattern I showed earlier, and I'll meet you when the second ear flap is done. The 2 ear flaps are now done, and I'm going to start working on the fluffy white edging. So like I mentioned, if you're not comfortable using the fluffy yarn, you can go for a regular size 3 or size 4 DK yarn to finish off your edging. So I'm going to start by inserting my hook at the back seam. I'm going to be working all around the edges. So insert your hook at the last round of the hat, or the body of the hat. Pull through your yarn of choice and make a knot. Insert your hook, pull through, chain 2. And you're going to be working 1 double crochet all around the edges. Continue making 1 double crochet all along the edge of the ear flap. Once you get to the corner of the ear flap, you're going to work 2 double crochets into that corner stitch. This will help you to easily turn your work without your work curling up too much. Now you're going to continue working 1 double crochet into each stitch. Now you have the corner again. You're going to work 2 double crochets into that corner stitch as well. So every time you get to the corner, make sure you're putting 2 double crochets into those corners. Now continue working 1 double crochet all along the edges. So I've completed my edging. I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet, chain 1, and cut off my yarn. So my edging is done. I'm now going to show you how to make the straps. Remember to weave in all your ends. So I'm going to be combining my red and white yarn, and because this thickens the weight of the yarn, I'm going to be using the 5mm crochet hook. So I'm going to insert my hook into the middle edging, bottom edge of the ear flap. Pull through both yarns and make a knot. Insert your hook, grab your yarn, and chain 50. This gave me a total of 11 inches, but if you want it longer, you can chain more. So my straps are done and they are about 11 inches, 11.5 inches. So if you want more, you can chain more. I'm now going to cut off my yarn, pull through, and make a knot at the end to secure the straps. You can now cut off the excess yarn, but make sure you don't cut it too close to the knot so that it doesn't unravel. Now we are going to repeat the same thing for the other ear flap. So repeat this for the other ear flap, and I'll meet you when your second strap is done. So both straps are all done now, and remember to weave in all your ends. You are going to weave in the red yarn through the red stitches and the white yarn through the white stitches, creating a Christmas tree applique. I'll be using this green Patons Canadiana yarn and my 3.5mm crochet hook. Okay, so let's create a slip knot. We are going to chain 4. Make 2 double crochets into the first chain. Now this is made up of chain 3 and 2 double crochets, so you have 3 double crochets here because the chain 3 counts as a stitch. Now I'm going to mark the first stitch, which is a chain 3. Now to continue, chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and turn. And make 2 double crochets into the same stitch as a chain 3, which is your first stitch. So I'm going to mark my first stitch, which is a chain 3. And I'm going to skip the next stitch and work 3 double crochets into the last stitch, which is the top of the previous chain 3. So we started with 1 cluster. Now we have 3 clusters. Chain 3 to start row 3 and mark the top of the chain 3. Turn your work. Make 2 double crochets into the first stitch, the same space as the chain 3 space. Now I'm going to work 3 double crochets in between the 2 clusters of the previous row. Yarn over and make 3 double crochets into the last stitch, which is the top of the previous chain 3. Chain 1 and cut off your yarn. So this is a very simple applique. You're now going to work on the trunk of the tree. So I'm going to start working on the first stitch of the middle cluster. Insert my hook, grab my yarn and secure it with a knot. Insert my hook, chain 1, and I'm going to work in 1 single crochet to the next 3 stitches. Chain 1 and turn and work 1 single crochet into each stitch. Chain 1 and cut off your yarn. So you're now going to sew on a tree applique to a hat. I also made this in an all green option, so depending on what you would like, you can use any color of your choice. To sew on my tree applique, I'm going to pin it to the hat using a sewing pin just to make sure it's secured and it's at the right place that I want it. I'm going to sew it all around. I'm now going to attach my pom-pom to the top of the hat. You can get this pom-pom in most craft stores or online, Amazon, or you can make it yourself. hat is now finished. In my upcoming videos, I'll be making some other Christmas inspired baby pieces. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in my next video.